Greetings and salutations. I hope this video finds you doing well. It's a bit of a follow-up to the last video I posted about my new listening room. I called it my obsessive music room. And I had a lot of nice comments on that video. Thank you to everybody who watched it. I will put a link in the description of this video, and also I'll put it in the box at the end so you can click on it if you haven't seen it already. In that video, I talked a bit about speaker placement, mainly about the divider in the middle of the room there on that back wall between the speakers. Now, that does a couple of things. First of all, it reduces echo in the room by soaking up some of the reflections from the walls. And the way I have it placed, you see here, the left speaker is kind of next to this divider, and it is on the right side there, and then the right speaker to the left side, you have that cloth panel of the divider. Now what that does is it sort of guides the sound in toward the middle of the room in such a way that the right and the left don't interfere with one another. You actually get a wider stereo image, and I mentioned that in the video. What I did not explain is why the speakers are in the corners. Now, YouTube abhors a vacuum, and if you don't say something about something like that in a video, somebody will comment on it. Now, I find when I see something like that, if I post a polite question, I usually get a polite answer. However, this particular viewer who noticed that, they got a little snarky. Linux Lucy commented, "Wow, how can a pair of speakers wedged in the corner at 45 degrees sound any good at all?" And of course, what they're saying here is that you shouldn't do that, apparently, or that goes against some law of nature. Well, that's not necessarily true. There is method to my madness. I did go looking online, and a lot of the guides these days say not to put the speakers in the corner, that you'll get strange reflections. You might get a pumped up bass response. Yeah, you do. Isn't that cool? See, way back a long time ago, in the 50s, there was a company called Klipsch that came up with a particular kind of speaker design. It was ported in such a way that it used the corner of the room as an extension of the baffle in the speaker. Now, you've got to remember that a speaker is a cone of paper or some other material that is moving back and forth, and it's generating pressure waves on the front and the back. So if you can harness that back wave and you can flip it back around, you can add that to the wave coming out of the front of the speaker in such a way that it actually strengthens the bass. And that was the idea behind the Klipsch corner speaker cabinet. And this is the best picture I could find of one of those things, guys. There are lots of pictures of Klipsch speakers, but I wanted this one in particular. And so what you can do is use that to your advantage with any speaker. So this is a diagram from the Crutchfield website about speaker placement, and they show them pretty close to the corners. And you'll have to kind of visualize this a little bit. See, what you're doing is you're using the entire room as like a megaphone in each corner for the stereo, and you want to kind of sit in that one corner of that magic triangle there. If you have back-ported speakers, which my speakers are, these are Sony B3000s and they have ports in the back, then that back wave audio is coming out of the back of the speaker, and the wall will reflect that, and it will add to what's coming out of the front. And this can give you a much more extended bass frequency response. So you can have a small set of speakers that sound much larger that way. It takes some tuning. You have to play with it. You will notice in my picture here that these speakers are not completely flush against the wall. There is a space on the sides for that audio wave, the back wave, to propagate out. And I could probably tune this even a little better. I didn't tune it much. I just kind of put it in there where I thought it should go. But, you can pull them out and pull them in, like, let's say a foot, within a foot range, and you can just kind of play with it and see what sounds best to you. And you can extend that bass response on a small set of speakers that way. And it makes a big difference, as I've mentioned in the original video. Tuning the room to give you the best sound can make a mediocre set of speakers like these sound really, really good. As long as you can control the reflections in the room, and like I said, the speakers, the closer you put them to a wall, they don't even have to be in a corner, the more bass response you're going to get out of them, because that reflective surface is going to amplify the bass. Use it to your advantage. That's what I did here. So yeah, that's why the speakers are in the corner. Thank you for watching. Once again, I hope you guys have a happy Thanksgiving. Everybody in America who is celebrating that this week. I don't know when the next video is coming up, but just keep watching. We'll get something up here sometime. Until then, see ya.